SkyChannel. In New Zealand, $5.80 for Khan in New Zealand, $13 odd for the 3 and the 4 in New Zealand, $5 for number 5 Dan Boss New Zealand, so massive unders. So it's ubiquitous, all the rage in New Zealand ahead of Dan Boss. Of the bottom two, they're much, much longer odds than that. So that market will no doubt shore up in the countdown. The market include the top weight, also Canny Opera for Darren Beedman. Damien Oliver's mount, $6.70 longer odds elsewhere. And then we check over the page. Lord Daneley is Darren Gouchy's mount. It's number 9, and it's one of a field of 13. It's at $9.70. Rosarino for Reese McLeod at $5.40. We'll be taking a look at the runners parading throughout the afternoon. The scene at Flemington on a Magic Days racing. It's Guineas Day. Good afternoon to our Group 1. Don't be surprised if Ubiquitous tightens further. They're betting much shorter than that New South Wales figure in New Zealand. Dan Boss at longer odds. Let's link up with the team across the Tasman.
The Group 3 winner lining up in a listed event, and looks an opportunity. Dan Boss now into 475, the son of Danehill, and Dan Road, look out, he'll be standing at stud somewhere come the spring. He's a very good looking yearling. Aliev, an interesting runner for Laura and Larry Ladner. They of course are involved in the selling of selling King's Chapel. They bred New Orleans stud bred King's Chapel, and the filly that made $475,000 this year at the Magic Millions. So big day for them, for Aliev and their 2-year-old by Soviet Star, who along with Poetic, it's debuting in a listed event. It's a tough field, keep an eye on them. Bit of word about for Poetic. It's been working up a storm, 34s and 5s. Could be one to follow out of the race. And there is Tadan, 985, 205, Leith Innes. Let's go upstairs. His call, one of our feature, the Fairview forward slipper, Darren Tyquin.
And the last one to link up will be Tadan, up at the 1,200 metre start for Leith Innes. Ubiquitous, red hot, $1.80 in favourite. Set now. John Humphreys about to hit the button for the Fairview forward slipper. Off. Waitoki Dream Slow, missed it by 2 lengths, and over on the inside Ubiquitous bounced out in a hurry. Dan Boss is charging up, and coming down the outside is Tardan. Just in behind those horses, Taters as they race close to the top bend. In behind them, Backle on the inside, Khan, 3 lengths to Poetic Aliev, and Waitoki Dreamers last of all. Tardan takes the lead, wheeling into the bend, 850 to go, raced out by a length and a half. From in second placing on the outside, Dan Boss, and they've been followed by Ubiquitous third. A length away over on the outside, the next runner as they stride down the side is Khan. Then came Taters, 3 lengths back to Aliev on the outside of Poetic, and Waitoki Dreamers last of all, about 8 or 9 off the leader, which is Tardan. Rounding the home bend in the Fairview forward slipper, Tardan in front from Dan Boss. Ubiquitous looking to get out, and does. Then Khan around the outside, and Taters taking the shortcut up along the inside rail. They've got to get to Tardan, going okay though at the 200 metre mark. Now Ubiquitous is starting to level on the outside. Tardan still in front, running out a little, so's Ubiquitous, now digging deep on the outside, on the inside, still in front, Tardan. Ubiquitous won't get him. Tardan, somewhat of an upset over Ubiquitous on the outside. Hold on to your tickets though. In third placing is Khan, and then Waitoki Dream, followed by just back in behind them Taters, and then came Poetic on the outside from Aliev, and Dan Boss tailed out as last of all.
Dan Boss disappointing, but Leith Innes and Robert Prescott combined. Tardan holding off the hot pot. Ubiquitous, 210 for Khan in third position. That's the 7th race. Next race comes from Otaki. Flemington, the runners parading. First race on the card. 2-year-olds going around here. Listed race, it's the Talindert Stakes, page 2 of betting, and Rosarino's at $5.40. Group 1, Ubiquitous and Khan. Ubiquitous is fired in the protest. The rider, Mike Coleman, for the Mike Moroney stable.
You're hoping to drag a few across with him, and he's got the speed to be right in it all the way on the outside. So a very intriguing race to start off with. Here's Dubai Dynasty now going into the stalls. Race over 1100. It's a listed race for the 2-year-olds. Penetrometer suggesting there's little in the divisions. Overall 4.48, the inside 4.45, the grandstand 4.50. Subscribes rider with the red cap here, Stephen King, to distinguish it from Infusion. They're both good odds in the race. Subscribe is out of Danelaw, who won the Blue Diamond Stakes in 1998, a $300,000 buy. Infusion purchased for $230,000. Now Subscriber's moved in. Felaheen is set near the outside, and Canny Opera has linked in. Talindert 1100. Racing now, and Cahuita began just reasonably in the middle of the line. Rosarino was away well, and Cahuita's going to go to the inside with her in the early stages, and Dubai Dynasty showing some pace, followed by Deborah's Joy on the rails. Exquisite Misses just behind them. Del Zayo's come inside as well with Subscribe. Over on the grandstand side of the course now, and Lord Daneley had bounded out and leads narrowly to Cross Current. Up there too is Canny Opera, and Prolifically is the widest of these, and in behind them is Infusion, and Felaheen is last of the grandstand division. Little between the two sides, it would appear. Rosarino on the flat side at the 500 has the lead from Cahuita coming at it on the outside, and then Dubai Dynasty, Deborah's Joy, Del Zayo, and they're followed then by Subscribe over on the outside, and Exquisite Miss over on the grandstand, and Lord Daneley in front. Cross Current's under the whip, and running on fairly is Canny Opera past the 200 metres. Rosarino over on the flat side, it bolted clear from that division and has that one with Subscribe running on, and Lord Daneley leads this side, but it looks like Rosarino on the inside has the overall. Yes, Rosarino wins it. Hard to line up the minors. Lord Daneley this side, and Subscribe in a photo finish for second and third. Clear then from Cahuita, and next in was Canny Opera, followed by Del Zayo, and back behind those to finish them was Exquisite Miss. Cross Current next in on the grandstand side of the course, trailed by Dubai Dynasty, Felaheen, and then Infusion, Deborah's Joy, and Prolifically would be one of the last in the race. Rosarino leading the flat side home in 1 minute 3.9 seconds, 1:3.9. Those that told us about the inside-outside not being much in it, they're dead right. There's little between those two divisions. Second placing goes to 9, Lord Daneley, who's led all the way on the grandstand side of the course, and third going to number 12, Subscribe, Stephen King, who was second home on the flat behind the winner. Rosarino first, Reese McLeod and David Hull, 13, 9 and 12 on race number 1. Rosarino, Lord Daneley and Subscribe on race number 1.
As we check the latest in markets. Now New Zealand, I can tell you in New Zealand the total elect there is the 3. Ubiquitous, Mike Coleman for Mike Moroney. Now in first place from Tadan and Khan, 132. Third placing New Zealand on race 8, 50, and Jewel Peak out to $2.80. Of the rest of them, no other changes, so all the betting has really been around the top 2 as we're near start time. First race on the...
And Jewel Peak have battled it out in the ring and on the tote. All set. Bellacaroos moving about, one kept on the move, Baron Joey Byways, the riders up in the air. Horse getting very stirred up, starter still right up on top of his rostrum. They steady up again, Mimsicle Fidgy the inside. Action, racing, and Bellacaroos, Regal County slow to go. Jewel Peak whistled out of the machine, went straight to the front. Polar Success is going up to keep her wide, and Toby Bess is making a line of 3. Jewel Peak's 3 deep going to the first bend. 4 lengths away as they fly in the early stages as Baron Joey Byways from Bellacaroos, City Iden, Mimsicle back the rail. Regal County a fair way back with Jewel of the Nile and Nagoya outside of it. Coming down the side of the track, and Toby Bess holds the lead at the 600 from Jewel Peak. Cassidy takes the trail on Polar Success, 2 away, 3 lengths away then is Bellacaroos. They were followed by City Eyed, Baron Joey, Byways, Mimsicle, Regal County, Nagoya, and last of all Jewel of the Nile. It's Jewel Peak surging up on the outside at the 350 on straightening. She's put a nose in front of Toby Bess, but here comes Polar Success. Polar Success went to them in one stride at the 250 and rocketed clear. Mimsicle from the back is the one giving chase. Cassidy sits down, hands and heels. Now he goes the Persuader on Polar Success, and she is home. Mimsicle battles on from Jewel Peak, but it's all Polar Success. She's much too good, won by 3 lengths to Mimsicle. Third a photo, probably Jewel Peak in front of Regal County, who got going late. Nagoya close up from Toby Bess. They were followed by Bellacaroos, Baron Joey Byways, well back City Eyed, and Jewel of the Nile last in. Well ridden by Jim Cassidy. They tested Jewel Peak. They made her work in the early stages. He took the drop. They've run a record time, 1:3.47. The previous record, Miss Peridot at 1:3.94. They've eclipsed that record and eclipsed it brilliantly. 34.71 the last 600 metres. She looked a treat in the yard. Good filly this one, Polar Success. Professional, tradesman-like performance. Beautifully ridden by Cassidy for Graham Rogerson. And he just let her cruise to the post the last 100 metres when she had the race safely in her keeping. Second prize in the event Memsical, Hugh Bowman, has run to the post well. Jewel Peak has just lasted for third. She was the one doing that tough up near the lead. And fourth going to number 3, Regal County, who made ground late. 2, 8, 1 and 3, and here's the totes. Polar Success, the winner of the race, $2.30 and $1.30. Number 8, Memsical, $2.20. 1, Jewel Peak at $1.20. Exacta, $21.20. Quinollas paid $12.50. The trifecta, $39.50. And the first 4, $184.80.
Harrison with the next 2-year-olds also going around now. New Zealand.
Huck Tui at double figure odds, $20 at the moment for Peter Moody's horses, very good value. January, just under the tote. St Martha's been adrift and near enough, and that's the run through. Brendan, as I speak, Thurman, just a specking of support and some shade of value.
The stalls there. Now the clerk of the course right with this one, and she hasn't gone at all far, so she's been brought under control very quickly by Darren Gouchy, and it would appear no damage done. Did have a real dive at the gates just when they were about to be released there. She hasn't gone at all far, so I'm sure that there'll be no problem. 280 on the tote she shows. Better odds on track as she's continued. Problem, I wouldn't think. She has only had the 4 starts. She's won 2 of them, and she's proven she can take a position and sprint when required, so she should get a lovely run from gate 1. A long odds move for Huck Tui, I've just noticed. Darren Beedman's ride. Let's see, what number 7? It's $18 on the tote. It's considerably shorter than that on course. Now I think the Farrier is going to have to tend to this filly. Yeah. Now it looks like the Farrier's been called to work here for Yamaris. Darren Gouchy out of the saddle now, and Yamaris will have the attention of the Farrier, it would appear, so the other fillies left in the gates. Damien Oliver's out of the saddle on St Martha to ensure that the weight stays off her back. Well, it's not a good thing. Yamaris has actually come in for a little late support. I think she got out to rather generous odds on track, and the punters have trimmed up there, so that would give those that have tried her on the outside. They're set and away now, and Yamaris won the jump on the inside. Marmosa was out quickly. Huck Tui's out the back today, and January's back there too. St Martha's going to posse up about midfield. La Quinta Gold's going on as they go to the 1400, and it's Yamaris being joined by Be My Person. La Quinta Gold steady to get a trail third. 2 lengths to Marmosa. Good generous pace here to St Martha. Thurman on the inside of her, followed by Kabushka, Caramel Corn, and then came getting through Huck Tui in January. There's a little bit of a scrimmage towards the tail end between those horses as they went towards the 1,000-metre mark. Be My Person by 2, Yamaris with the trail. La Quinta Gold is third, 1.5 lengths Marmoso fourth, and then 3 lengths away is St Martha on the outside of Thurman. 2 Kabushka, and then Huck Tui on the inside, trailed by Caramel Corn and January last of all. At the 800, Be My Person by 2, Yamaris is second, La Quinta Gold third on the inside, being trailed by Marmoso, and 1.5 lengths further back is St Martha, travelling okay at the turn. Thurman likewise on her inside, and then Kabushka, Huck Tui, Caramel Corn and January last around the turn at the 550, and Be My Person led. Yamaris the first to ease off the rail to have a crack at her. Marmoso came deeper, and St Martha the widest. La Quinta Gold in behind them in the white colours, and Thurman is trying to work clear, but she's buried away. It's now Yamaris at the 300 going up to Be My Person. St Martha is Pop the Question running on after this leader, and Thurman's not in the hunt, but Yamaris at the 200 going strongly out by 2. St Martha trying hard, and then Marmoso, Be My Person, but it's Yamaris nicely clear. Hold St Martha at bay, and Yamaris held up the start but won it easily. Yamaris beat St Martha, photo third, and it's between Marmoso and Thurman, who was very unlucky. Next Kabushka, Be My Person, La Quinta Gold, January, Huck Tui and Caramel Corn last of all.
Yamaris collecting the cash despite, as you could see, sweating up, and also that trouble with the Farrier required at the gates. Yamaris, Darren Gouchy and trainer John Hawkes continues on her winning ways. Has now won 3 of her past 4, and after running second in the opening race on the card, Carbine Lodge at Flemington bounces and confirmed correct weight is there at Morphettville on 146. Number 5 confirmed in 4th, first 482.
Come back in 40 cents, shorter on the tote at 380. Now they're about to move in. Started calling them up. Here's Olympus moving in. Larry Connors will be watching from Melbourne. And I'm sure he'll be looking for a big performance from Olympus today. Now Magic Owl moving up, waiting on Desert Ransom, about to move in. He's on toe at the start. Copeton in the club's jacket. Bay Raktar and also Tasumi. Tightened up since his last start performance. Desert Ransom, he's a nice type of a horse too. He certainly is. There's no doubt about that. And he's by Desert Prince. If he doesn't get a good horse, I'm not here. I think he's going to be a boom sire in the year. Desert Ransom right up to it. Copeton in the club's jacket, white with the emblem. Magic Owl, African King, Fidgety the inside. Racing, African King, Magic Owl, both slow to get going. Fast out is Olympus near the inside. Desert Ransom wide out, going fast on the outside is Tasumi to settle third. Magic Owl fourth, and then Copeton wide from Bay Raktar, easing from African King. Olympus with his foot on the pedal. Cassidy at the 800 metre mark, scream clear, led by 2 lengths. In second position is Desert Ransom, a length away Magic Owl. Copeton off the track, Tasumi shuffle back to 5th. 2 lengths to African King and Bay Raktar outside of him. Olympus at a good tempo coming to the bend, 450 out, a length and a half on Desert Ransom, the hot pot. 2 away Magic Owl, Copeton the outside, Tasumi off the bit, African King and then Bay Raktar. Olympus giving them something to catch. He's going all right at the 300, he's still 2 lengths in front. Desert Ransom under pressure, African King putting in a run from Magic Owl. The pumper is hands and heels and Olympus is going great guns at the 150. He's 2.5 lengths in front of African King. Desert Ransom, they can make no impressions. This is the real Olympus today. Stand up and be counted. He's going to bolt in. Still green, but won by 4 lengths, African King and Desert Ransom and Tasumi. They were followed by Magic Owl, Bay Raktar and Copeton last in. Well, Clary Connors isn't too often wrong when he says he's got a good horse. And he was justified today. The blinker's doing the trick. His time is 1:3.56. The fillies went 1:3.47. He's come home 33.87. The fillies came home 34.71. He's had a good time of it in front and has been able to quicken beautifully the last 600 metres and has reeled off a very slick section, 33.87. Puts his head to one side, has a bit of a look around, and he has absolutely...
1:03 and 56. They're running slick time, slightly slower, albeit, than the filly Polar Success, but proving too good Olympus. Jim Cassidy registers a winning double. First 4 on...
They're moving in, Gibino ready on the inside. Let's see, a lot of other chances in it. In fact, equal second picks. No, 4 Sensational Spot holds second pick now. She's had some support. And then 1 Dantana, 5 El Moxie Boy, and a touch further out too. They're set. Dantana alongside her. They're off now. And Dantana began reasonably. Edgston was away quickly with Appian Way, and Gibino has ridden for speed down towards the inside. Sensational Spotters coming across their heels and is finding the rails behind the leading bunch. El Moxie Boy and Crystal Decanter are out wider as they go past the 800 metre mark now. And a good charge. El Moxie Boy very wide on the course, joining on the inside of it Romanesque, Dantana in the orange and Edgston on the rails. Nearly a line of 4 there. Appian Way right behind them with Gibino, and then Crystal Decanter, and Sensational Spot is back last of all in a fairly bunched field at the 400. On the rails, Edgston had the lead now from Dantana. El Moxie Boy scrubbed up wider out, and they're trailed by Gibino through on the inside from Appian Way, and Romanesque is next. Edgston in front of Dantana, passing the 200. Here's Sensational Spot, seeing daylight. She's sprinting hard, and Sensational Spot raced up to Edgston. Gibino along the inside, but Sensational Spot's drawing about 3/4 clear and home. Sensational Spot beats Gibino, photo third, Edgston or Dantana, and then Appian Way, Crystal Decanter, El Moxie Boy and Romanesque last in. She didn't have the best of runs, but when she got going out wide, she just blew them away. Right back to that form of the Oaks when she was a listed placed runner in the Cadbury Roses, and terrific run at a last run up the straight. And she has won this race with terrific burst of pace past the 200 metre mark. Second going to 7 Gibino. They run 57.8 seconds. And a photo for third, 4-7, and a photo finish for third place. 4-7 and 3 in the third on the card. Race 4, Piping Lane handicap starts the quaddie. Runmore is scratching 9 blinkers again for number 5, He Guy. Fourth goes at 2:10.
Far off. And that's on 3-1-2, possibly 6 in fourth. We'll get that confirmed though with the scales report. At Rosehill Gardens. Now another late rally on course for Compete. That's what Terry Bailey's reporting as we return to the track.
Yes, Compete's been well tried again late, Brendan. They backed him in early. He came in a tick over a half point, and Vital Agreement got out a tick over 1 point. And then they backed Vital Agreement back in. He firmed in 60 cents on track, or about a half point. But then they've come for Compete again, and he's the warm favourite. 260 on the tote is close to the mark. Further money for him on track again as I speak. Vital Agreement 340 jacket. Racing, Vital Agreement fairly out. Uwali made a meal of the start, no speed. Vittorisk headed off by Counter Depiction, going to the front early on. Vital Agreement showing speed. Cosmic Force moderately out, coming across to be fourth, but he is trapped out a little wide. One away Compete, 2 lengths Magic Marbo, then came Uwali and Martum as last of all. It's Counter Depiction in front, the lightly raced 3-year-old clear by 2.5 lengths. In second, Vital Agreement. Counter Force, his stablemate striding up around him now to head him. 2 lengths for Tourist, 1 away Compete, 6 from the speed, 2 lengths Magic Marvo. Then Uwali, and last of all is Martum. 850 to run. Counter Depiction going hard. Ears pricked, head in the air. Led by a length on Cosmic Force, sliding up to be a clear second. Vital Agreement box seating and Competes in a lovely spot. Quinn's got him just behind them. The Tourist is being joined by Magic Marvo, who's well back with Martum. Uwali inside of it. 600 metres to go. Counter Depiction, 3/4 Counter Force now going up to put pressure to the speed. Competes right on his wheel, tagging him into the race. Vital Agreement the rail. Magic Marvo from the back pulls out. They were followed next of all by well back Uwali in company with Martum and Vittorisk. Cosmic Force moved up, hit the lead. Just in front of Counter Depiction, Compete made a line of 3. Magic Marvo runs on. Vital Agreement needs a gap with Vittorisk. Cosmic Force joined and headed at the 100 by Compete. Compete has hit the lead. From the back, Magic Marvo, Vital Agreement, both pump home well, but Compete drew clear. He's got it won. Compete goes home and wins 2 lengths to Vital Agreement. Third is Magic Marvo, Photo fourth, Cosmic Force or Martum, Vittorisk, Counter Depiction and Uwali last in.
Well tried, 240, 120 for Rod Quinn and John Hawkes, $1.60, $2.20. Across the line, it's the well-tried Compete. New Zealand's our next port of call. Betting order there.
But my numbers will be 2, 4, the nice horse, 1 and 5, Brendan.
Back across the Tasman.
Psychedelic still out. Katana. 1,200 metres the journey. Mohawk the inside. John Humphrey's about to hit the button. There they go. Off and racing in the breeders, and Track Talk began like an absolute stag on the outsiders, charging around the outside of Dragon Maiden, who hunts up on the rail. They're matching motors early. Pay My Bail is next. Then Katana coming around the outside of runners, followed by just in behind them Scene Stealer. Then came Perfection, who's the next one, followed by Mohawk Backle on the inside. Snip out wide on the track, and then came Psychedelic. In behind them then, at the head of the rest is Clifton, followed by Catscan, the inside Phoenicia. Then came Pink Rutland Lass. Out the back is Butterface second last, and Danette the inside is toiling at the tail. On the home bend, 550 to go. It's Dragon Maiden in front from Katana. She strode up in a hurry on the outside. Just in behind them, Track Talk, and then Pay My Bail. Coming to the outside now, Perfection with a big run, and Mohawk looking to get out there homeward bound. Track Talk with a great run. Track Talk and Katana go to the lead. Here's Perfection. Now Mohawk getting into the clear on the outside. A great finish coming up. Track Talk, Katana. The locals fight it out. Katana the inside. Katana with a neck advantage near the line. It's another group victory to Ellen and Christine Abel. Katana the winner from in second placing. Over the line is Track Talk. Catscans flashed up for third. Just in front of Perfection, I'd say Rutland Lass, Mohawk right there. And just in behind those runners, at the head of the rest was Scene Stealer. They were being followed in a clump of horses by Pink and Butterface on the outside. And they were being followed by in behind those horses Psychedelic, and just back behind them Dragon Maiden weakened out of it badly. Danette, Clifton and Phoenicia is just about the last one home.
Okay, Darren, the Volksgrad filly from the Mike Moroney yard for Mike Coleman proving successful in the Group 2 Breeders' Stakes, 10 from 7, third to be confirmed. That's our New Zealand racing card.
Way to win a midweek 1,000 metres race here, but he bolted in, and face values had 2 starts for 2 wins. One at the Sunshine Coast. And
tote, as I mentioned, Coca Rico has been spec'd to double figure odds. You're getting some good value on the tote at the moment. Palastrozzi, number 8, is the on-track favourite. Has had support, a little bit of value at $3.90. And T.O. Bell's probably the next best, a little bit of value there. Zackaby, also some value. So Brendan, the favourite, number 8, but there's a couple there.
2,500. It's Ryzek standing up okay, has an attendant in with him, Pellestrozzi alongside. It's just not quite standing right, Pellestrozzi, almost got the head into the next stool. That's better, straightened up now. Away they go, and he dropped his head at the start, Pellestrozzi, and walked out of the gates last. And Oscar Eric was the first to bounce out. Zachary was away very quickly with Trafalgar Flyer, Cocorico. Going forward to T.O. Bell, and he goes going to be posted pretty wide as they make their way towards the turn out of the straight. And next is Talindert. So Pellestrozzi last as they head out towards the riverside, and they still haven't sorted out the lead. T.O. Bell's going on. She runs to the front. He guy moves up on the outside. Oscar Eric in the pink colours settles third, and then Cocorico. Zachary's caught three wide. About 3 lengths further back, Trafalgar Flyer, a half length to Talindert, a length and a half to Bold Bard, 1 1/4 then to It's Ryzek, followed by Mind the Gap and Pellestrozzi last. He guy worked round the outside and finds the lead at the 1800, but he's done some work to get there. He's 2 to T.O. Bell. Zachary up in third placing, and then Cocorico in the green colours on the outside of Oscar Eric. Zachary still caught 3 wide out near the 1600. A break of about 4 lengths then Trafalgar Flyer. Talindert next to the outside, a length and a half to Bold Bard, 1 to It's Ryzek on the outside of Mind the Gap, and Pellestrozzi a length and a quarter away. He guy at the 1400 led T.O. Bell by a length and a half. Oscar Eric third, Cocorico fourth. 2 or 3 lengths further back is Zachary, and they're trailed 2 lengths to Talindert, Trafalgar Flyer. 3 behind them is Bold Bard, and they're followed another 2 1/2 then to It's Ryzek outside Mind the Gap, and Pellestrozzi 1 1/2 away. At the 1100, he guy in front, he's by a length. In second placing T.O. Bell, 2 lengths away Oscar Eric, Cocorico fourth, and then came Zachary. She's on the inside at the 1,000 metres from Talindert, and then came Trafalgar Flyer, 1 1/2 to Bold Bard. It's Ryzek outside to Mind the Gap, and Pellestrozzi last, and about 15 from the leader. At the 800, he guy tries to do it just about all of the way, and Newitt's riding him along before the turn. Don't know if there's a lot left in the tank after he worked, and quickly Oscar Eric whipped off the rails, and then 2 or 3 lengths further back T.O. Bell, a gap to Cocorico. Now here's Bold Bard, the closer, starting to wind up with his run as they cornered. Pellestrozzi's pulled to the outside and gone past It's Ryzek. He guy under the whip gives something at the 400. Oscar Eric trying to join him, and they're about 5 lengths in front of Bold Bard, and Pellestrozzi battling away down the outside. 300 to go. He guy does have a kick. He's a neck in front of Oscar Eric. 5 lengths to Bold Bard, Trafalgar Flyer, and Pellestrozzi. He guy, 120 to go. He won't let Oscar Eric get by him. He's a length in front. Pellestrozzi getting up to third. He guy works both ends and wins. He guy first by 2 lengths Oscar Eric. Trafalgar Flyer 3 or 4 lengths away in third ahead of Pellestrozzi, who bombed the start. Then Bold Bard and It's Ryzek worked home okay near the inside. Clear to T.O. Bell, Zachary, Talindert, Mind the Gap, and last of all Cocorico. He guy the winner. He guy number 5, ridden by Craig Newitt, trained by Bradley Mazzato. His first Metro winner since taking over the reins of the Lloyd Williams Racing Empire.